Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last time we started to explore the Snowpeak Ruins, getting ourselves the ball and chain, and now we are ready to continue on further into our dungeon here. So right away we get a good use here for our ball and chain. That's good. And as you see, this room does actually connect us to one of the rooms we've been to already, you know, the room with a bunch of cannonballs in it, but I'm not going to go in there just yet. Save us a little bit of time, even though I wasted time opening my map, but that's besides the point. Now you see, these little creatures here are like perfectly positioned, where you have to wait for their ice to go away, and then you can just go ahead and use the ball and chain on them. And you can use the ball and chain to destroy those little ice creatures very easily. And we want to do that again, or get frozen. That's what I wanted. There we go. Now let's just use our ball and chain again. There we go. And you also want to use it right here, because that opens up a cannon. That will be useful to us later. Since we don't have any cannonballs, we can't really use it. But right here, you see there's little cracks in the floor here, right? Go ahead and use your ball and chain here, because that opens up a passageway. Drop down, and you get yourself a heart piece. As you can see, you can come in here from another room, but you won't be able to get this heart piece because there's no way other besides, you know, dropping in here. In the GameCube version, there's a glitch you can pull off with the Gale Boomerang, and it's an easy way to get to that part of the room without dropping your way in there, but it's something I just recommend not doing. Only because you can get there pretty easily, just wait, and you'll be able to get there with the ball and chain no problem. And not just that, but in the Wii version, they take this little trick out. You can't use the Gale Boomerang to make these incredibly hard jumps. Which is kind of a shame they take that programming out in this version, but I can kind of understand why, because if they kept it in, then the game would have been a lot easier in a lot of ways. One of the main ways it would be easier is in one of the last dungeons. You can just use that Gale Boomerang jumping trick and skip pretty much half the dungeon if you wanted to. So that's why I can understand why they took that glitch out. I would have loved to try it out though. I played the GameCube version once, but on the time I had with it, I wasn't able to pull off the glitch. And even then, I didn't have that many moments where I could have pulled off that glitch. So it would have been nice to be able to pull that off in this version. But I digress. Let's just stop rambling on about a glitch now and just continue on with the game itself. So we got a heart piece right here in this room by dropping down to it. And then we're back in the main room here and we can get ourselves another heart piece. So what you need to do is you need to get onto this platform here first. I recommend just taking out this guy here, because this will just make your life easier, trust me, it really will. Trying to make this jump with that guy throwing his icicles at you is a pain, but I fell down here, didn't mean to, but it's not really that big of a deal because I kind of have to be down here anyways. Actually, why did I transform into a wolf? I don't need to be a wolf just yet. Behind one of these statues is actually a Poe Soul, and look at that, I was correct on which one it was. Alright, let's just get ourselves in our Poe Soul and we'll be on our way. There are 2 treasure chests that are here near the front door and they just have rupees, so if you want them, go ahead and get them, but I don't really need them, so I'm just going to go ahead and ignore those 2 chests for now. We knocked away a thing of ice up here, and it's a good thing we did because behind it was a claw shot point. So, if you ever fall in this room, you can just go ahead and make your way in the upper level just by using the claw shot, which it's very helpful when it comes to time saving. So, make sure when you're up here your first time, hit that thing of ice to get rid of it. You'll really want to. And now these stupid ice keys are in my way. I can't make that jump just yet. This thing needs to be closer to me. Yeah, see, I knew that was gonna happen. I thought I was close enough, but yeah, it looks like I wasn't close enough. That's the annoyance about this jump. To make these jumps, these platforms need to be pretty much right next to each other, otherwise it's going to be too far away for you. And while these first two are easy to make, it's this last jump here that's kind of more of a pain. And that's because, look at this, you gotta get like perfectly synchronized, and that's kind of hard to do. Trying to push that thing out as much as I can so it swings back in by the time I get there, and even then that's not gonna work. So you just have to be patient on this part. If you're not, you're gonna do that. You're gonna try to make the jump and fail it miserably. There we go, made the jump. Jeez, that took much longer than it needed to be. But there you go. That is how you get your heart piece. Admittedly, one of the more annoying pieces to get in a dungeon because of that tricky platforming there you have to make. But finally got it. I don't have to worry about that anymore. That took me like 3 or 4 extra minutes to get. It's ridiculous. I just got lucky that in the end my ball and chain actually hit that platform I was standing on the way back. If that didn't happen, I would have still been there trying to make that jump. But there we go. No more heart pieces to get in this dungeon. Thank goodness. So now we just focus on pose and obviously beating the dungeon. Now one nice thing with the ball and chain you can do, stand in place and just swing it around, and that will kill these little ice ball enemies no problem. Although sometimes you might screw up like that and you know, get yourself frozen on the rebound shot of one of your ball and chain throws. But you want to go ahead and break this little thing of ice here, and that gets you your final pose in the dungeon. And also, it does release some ice keys as well. So I want to get away from those things before they freeze me. Alright, so it looks like we need a key before traversing any farther into this room. And guess where we are? We're right back in here in this room that had the big block puzzle. And now we're on the other side. We can use this block here in the puzzle as well. We kind of have to, because as you see, this door is locked. So we need to unlock it. And in this room is where we unlock it. And also, now we have the ball and chain, we can go ahead and not only break that center pillar, but we can also break away the ice that's on this block. We're gonna need it unfrozen like this. So what we need to do is we need to hit that switch in the center, and we need to keep these blocks actually in the center of this room. It's kind of tricky to do, admittedly. It will take you some time to get this right, but once you get it right, then it's smooth sailing from there. There might be a way we can only use like 2 of these blocks to actually do this puzzle, but I don't think it's really possible. I think you do have to use all 3 of these. Because what we're trying to do first here is we're trying to get these blocks to stop themselves in more of the center of this big old open ice center here. Ice center? Did I really just call this a center? It is not a center. We're just trying to get all these ice blocks here to stop like this, so that we can go ahead and push these blocks along this switch in the center. Like I said, it's kind of tricky to do, and it's actually kind of hard for me to explain, apparently. But what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put 2 blocks like this on the center. Doing so, you'll be able to just push one just like this right across the button. Then this one's sitting there right in the open. And then you take your other block and you go ahead and push it across. And then this will land on the switch that we need to hit. Pretty simple. Another thing to note, it's kind of a useless kind of trick, but you can use your ball and chain to push these blocks as well if you wanted to. But like I said, it's not really something you're going to be using much, so I don't really see the big use to that. It's nice to know you can do it, but really, it's not required by any means at all. And once you have that big block there in the center, you can go ahead and you can put the other block you're not using back on the other switch in case you do have to use that doorway. I'm just doing it just because. It's not required by any means. You don't have to do this at all, but I just feel obligated to for some reason. Just feel like I should. So I have both doors unlocked in case I might need the bottom passage, which I doubt I will. But since we push this block down from the very top, not only can we climb our way back up here, making a big shortcut for us, but also that pretty much allows us to get back right to the top area without, you know, retraversing those front rooms again. Which is good. That's a big time saver. And we're right back outside already. What do you know? Oh, hello. Careful of that guy. It's kind of easy to get hit by him. Wow, is he really that stupid to walk off the edge? Wow. Can't believe it. He was that dumb. And they almost knocked me off the edge. Jeez, I better get away from that edge. It is kind of easy to get knocked off to the side by these guys, so that's why it's more preferred if you're going to fight them in the center. Or near one of the walls, because then they won't have that high chance of knocking you off to the bottom, making you climb all the way back up. Very annoying in my opinion. But now we want to head back inside here, and oh hey, look, what do you know? A big thing of ice. Guess what that means? Use our ball and chain and make a hookshot point. And over to the other side of this room, I do believe, is where a small key is that we need, so that's good. And hooray, more of these tricky chandelier jumps. You guys now know how much I love these jumps. Luckily, this is one of the simple ones to make, where you just have to wait for this one to swing towards you, and you're good to go. You're back to solid ground. Thank goodness, because I don't want to deal with trying to time it with two of those moving chandeliers again. That is just too much for me. But once you go ahead and do that, then we can go ahead and head back over to that room where we got that post soul before and use a small key in there. And this is pretty much taking us near the end of the dungeon now, if I'm not mistaken, so we're making good time in this dungeon. We really are. I know this time I'm not going to squeeze in the boss, you know, with the last bits of the dungeon. Before I did that because I actually kind of went through here pretty fast, but this time not the case. Which isn't that big of a thing to me, because really after doing this I'm probably going to stop recording for now and get something to eat, so it's probably more beneficial. Trying to be careful with these guys so they don't freeze me from a distance, and he still manages to freeze me even after death. That figures as much. Especially if you can get up close like this to these big creatures and then just throw your ball and chain at them. And then just wait around for the little guys just to make their way to you. But there we go. Now we have a pathway up here to the top. Which is good, because now we need to go all the way down to the bottom and get ourselves a cannonball. Because we're going to need a cannonball to traverse any farther in this dungeon. So now I'm willing to go back outside over here and grab ourselves some cannonballs. Because as you see here, look up, you see that big ice creature just sitting there. We need to use these cannonballs to kill that thing, because if you try to climb up that ladder where that thing is, he's just gonna knock you down. There's no way you can get up there without that enemy knocking you down. So you need to use these cannonballs to shoot him down, pretty much. You know, it's not what we're really doing, that's just the best terminology I can think of right now. But we need to take this cannonball here, shoot it through a cannon to get back up to an upper ledge, and then we shoot it through another cannon to kill the thing. It's more of a... it takes more time to get this cannonball to where we need it to go, but you get the idea. Even though we can throw it, we can't throw it up to that little ledge. We have to take it over here and shoot it through the cannon first. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking this. What happens if I just try to shoot this cannonball through this ice window? Well, nothing happens. It just bounces off it. I tried it once before, and the windows don't break. Kind of disappointing. Missed the opportunity there, but oh well. What else are you gonna do, right? It would have been amusing to see the cannonball go right through the window, and then you being out of luck with the cannonball, having to go get another one. That would have been funny to see, but I'm kind of glad they didn't do that, because that would have been annoying, admittedly. Oh hey, another hookshot point. Let's go ahead and, no. Use our ball and chain. There you go. And let's grab our cannonball here and take this big old creature down. Turn our cannon around, otherwise we'll be firing it right at a wall, which is kind of pointless at this rate. Unless we're trying to do collateral damage to this guy's house, which we can't do, unfortunately. Kind of pointless to shoot at a wall. But there we go. That thing is dead, so now we can actually climb our way up there on that ladder. And now, finally, after a handful of treasure chests later, we're making our way to where the boss key actually is. And I do like the room coming up ahead. It's actually pretty nice, and it's a room you usually don't see in someone's house, so it's pretty cool, actually. No pun intended with the frozen area. But as soon as you get in here, they lock you in. They also lock the door that leads to the chest, so we're gonna have to fight some enemies before we can traverse. And as you see, this is a nice little altar where there's a bunch of icicles hanging from the roof as well. You want to take down those icicles because those are actually enemies. Missed my shot completely there. But yeah, you want to miss again. How do I keep on missing? Seriously. There you go. You want to take these icicles down because these are those ice soldiers that we've been seeing. I didn't want to actually show them to you just yet. I know I would eventually here, but I didn't want to do it just yet. Best way to do is with the ball and chain. I don't know if you can take these things down using bomb arrows. You might be able to, but it's just safer for me just to go ahead and use the ball and chain, so I'm just going to use that. Oh, what do you know? 2 for the price of 1. You gotta love it. And now I have to take these guys down in their soldier forms, which, not a big deal. That is, if I don't stand on top of a chair and destroy it by accident. Alright, so let's just aim and shoot. There you go. He's dead. I decapitated him. That's kind of morbid now thinking about it, but let's not think about it and pick up that blue rupee. And now in here we get ourselves the boss key, finally. Or big key as the game calls it. And actually in this dungeon it's special and it's called the bedroom key. It leads us to the bedroom up top that has a mirror shard, but like I said, there is a boss there, so it's technically the boss key or the big key as this game calls it. That sure took a while, but that mirror shard is as good as ours. Yes it is. So with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it an episode here, guys. So next time, Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. We're gonna go ahead and make our way up to the bedroom. So I'll see you guys next time.